Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we have a Black Library review for you, and today we're taking a look at Children of Teclis by Evan Dicken. Now this is an Age of Sigmar story that has recently come out in both a hardback and a paper version, and indeed has come to the audio version as well, which is generally where I like to listen to my Black Library fiction. I like to listen to it while I'm doing some hobby and doing some work on the channel, on the computer, or other stuff around the house as well. This one is narrated by Amy Roxon, who is fast becoming one of my favourite Black Library sort of voice actors that they work with. I think she does a fantastic job at voicing a bunch of different characters, especially characters of colour within the story as well. She did The Last Volari as well, which was really well done by her. Really solid voice acting performance on her. But with that said, this is the Children of Teclis. It's a Lumineth Realm Lords focused story, so let's get talking about the story itself. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, the story. Nagash is cast down. The Lumineths stand triumphant. Mighty Teclis, in his wisdom, has left his children to guard the tomb of the great necromancer. Lore Seeker Alarian, the Illuminated, is one such soul. Determined to prevent Nagash's resurrection, she delves deeper than any other, risking both the ire of her allies and her very being to uncover the secrets of Mariskar. However, a hidden danger lies at the heart of the ancient Ossiarch necropolis. The Idoneth Deepkin reavers from the ocean floor intend to use Mariskar's forbidden knowledge to heal their withered souls, even at the cost of Lumineth lives. If Alarian is to save her kin and stop the return of the God of Death, she must do the unthinkable and damn her Deepkin cousins to their nightmare existence. And so we look at the story's purpose. This story really focuses on the Lumineth Realm Lords action post-Necroquake and Broken Realms sagas. Now, one of the big things here is we've got these sort of main three Lumineth Realm Lords stories that we've had from Black Library. Obviously, it started with the story called Realm Lords. Now, that one really did focus a lot on just introducing the characters, mostly, and is pre sort of any Necroquake and Broken Realms saga. And then we also have a cool part of the story, which is from the previous Lumineth Realm Lord story that we had released as well, which is the Gift of Enlightenment, which is focusing a lot on the sort of push of the Ossiarch legions and the Death armies into the realm of Hyeesh during the Broken Realms saga. Now, this one here focuses much on the Lumineth Realm Lords sort of counterattack and pushing deeper into the Realm of Death, while the Gods of Death are, defeated while Nagash is bound to the Mountain of Avalanor. But the same sort of magic the elves had previously used to bind Slaanesh to the sort of between realms place that is Ulgish. Now, of course, the undead forces in this as well are looking to restore their god to power. So this is a sort of slightly different sort of look on, the take we had in some of the previous stories, where it's, definitely trying to put Teclis at the forefront and have the elves really trying to establish their dominance and their foothold back into the mortal realms, where now it is very much Death trying to gain that sort of foothold once more. But obviously the elves are pushing into their realm, trying to just snuff out a lot of the undead, but realizing they are in a realm of death, so that is a very difficult task to do. Within this story as well, we do have the added sort of confrontation of the Idoneth Deepkin in the story as well, which definitely are posing a threat. And we get that nice look at the interaction between the Lumineth and the Idoneth Deepkin in here, which makes for an interesting story, because obviously the Idoneth Deepkin fled Teclis when he was going to destroy his work. And we do get, conflicting stories on that. was Teclis going to destroy the Idoneth? Were the Idoneth sort of just flee because they didn't like Teclis? There's lots of different sort of thoughts, and there are different thoughts within the Idoneth indeed on how that sort of relationship works. But we do get a cool look at, his Teclis's sort of favourite children and his little black sheep. And so our main character is Alaren the Illuminator. She is a lore seeker, which is sort of like a battle wizard, and she does have a sword and staff, so she is combat focused, but she's also a very powerful wizard in her own right. Her big thing, as the name and title might suggest, a lore seeker, she's out there trying to gain knowledge about the mortal realms and increase the knowledge of the mortal realms for the Lumineth Realm Lords. Now, she is accompanied by her trusty Blade Lord companion, which is sort of her protector, which is really cool. And then we've also got a variety of other characters that are sort of the other heads of the Lumineth Force that she's attached to. She's not actually part of said Lumineth Force. She is sort of, a auxiliary to the main force that includes things like a Lumineth Caligrave, a Lord Regent, and then High Sentinels, High Wardens, and a Dawn Rider captain as well. But all in all, a really fun character to sort of look at. She's quite young, she's quite brash. She's actually a sort of low status born Lumineth. Her father and parents were fishermen, and she's sort of been raised up in a citadel where she was able to gain a lot of knowledge, learn a lot about her skills and her magical prowess, but she's not sort of, a highborn, and she's not really used to the stately affairs. Some of the other Lumineth, indeed the Lord Regent and the Bannerblade that sort of serves under Lord Regent she's with, who is very much a very political and politicking sort of elf, but she is quite interesting a character, this sort of brash, sort of doesn't quite fit in character, and, really sort of eager to help and prove herself as well. And so over the course of the story, what changes about the character? Now, like I said, originally she is very sort of brash, she's very over enthusiastic, she's very eager to uncover new lore, to learn new things, to sort of make the Lumineth better, and indeed sort of, I guess, prove herself at the same point to those who maybe doubt her ability or doubt her sort of, power is another one as well, and those who sort of look down upon her because she is this lowborn Lumineth status. She's not a noble in any way like many of the other sort of wizards are. Now, over the course of the story, she really does learn a lot about how it is to be a courtier, work someone at court, which is really interesting, learning to sort of stand on her own 2 feet in that court, and learning how to play the game of thrones, if you will. But she also sort of learns to restrain herself from those sort of over eager, those sort of, I guess you could say, those dangerous sort of things she can get herself into over the course of the story. Those reckless things she can do, being, this sort of young, wanting to prove herself Lumineth, and she's, has those sort of moments where she learns to balance that, wanting to uncover the truth, wanting to learn something with the what is the danger I now face here? What might I do if I do this thing, or if I try to delve deeper into this thing? She learns that her actions have consequences, essentially. And so, what does this book do well, though? And I think one of the best things about the book is we really do understand where the story is going at the end of this. We have the sort of end point established of where we need to get to in this story at the very early stages of this book, which is quite interesting. But it is that middle portion of the book that constantly changes. There are lots of left turns when you expect the book to go right, and vice versa, lots of right turns when you expect the book to go left. When you expect the sort of turn off, it keeps heading, in the direction you think it is. But then there's also lots of double crossing. Like I said, there is definitely a lot of politicking in the Lumineth side, and there's lots of sort of different opinions on the Idoneth, and indeed lots of the characters from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers change as well on how they're sort of dealing with things and what their sort of ambitions and their sort of goals are as well. The plot, like I said, it remains the same. That start and that finish, and don't think really changes throughout the entire book. But it is that path to get there that is really constantly in flux throughout the story that makes quite an interesting read. You can gather where this is going to go by the end of it. But that path to get to the end of it on the story is quite an interesting journey, and I think that is a really big strength of the book, where it's told you what the ending is very early on, but it's how you get to that ending that is the interesting and really nicely done part that makes you think that maybe it lied to you at the start, but does it? It doesn't really lie about the end, but it sort of changes how the end comes about, and that's really an interesting part of the story. And so, who would like this book, though? Obviously, this is definitely, if you like the Lumineth Realm Lords, you like their sort of story and everything, this is definitely a story for you. It does contain, you know, quite a bit of Idoneth Deepkin in it, but I don't think this really gives you a wholesome view of the Idoneth Deepkin, a sort of view of how they are in a normal sort of, I guess, established sort of realm of their own. The Idoneth Deepkin in this aren't, you know, a perfect replica of what the Idoneth are. If you're looking for maybe an Idoneth story, something like Court of the Blind King is probably a better story to have a look at than this one. I don't think this gives the best view of them, but for the Lumineth, it is a fantastic story. It shows you how the Lumineth just want to sort of make the realms perfect, make the realms become enlightened. And so, in summary, this is fun and engaging. Like I said, it has that nice sort of constant change in that middle part of the story, in the real sort of meat of the story that makes it interesting. You have a strong lead character as well that I think a lot of people can get behind. You know, this sort of lower born, trying to prove herself, stuck in a sort of room with all these more powerful, these more snooty nobles, if you will. But also brilliant voice acting in the audio version. Amy Roxon does a fantastic job, as I said at the start of the video. I really enjoyed this. It was great to get back to some Age of Sigmar fiction. I haven't listened to any in quite some time because there hasn't been any big releases of Age of Sigmar for a little bit now. This was really enjoyable. If you have read Children of Teclis by Evan Dickin or listened to it like I did, let us know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community we have here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, be that via Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, whether that's stickers, t-shirt, mugs, or anything from our Teespring store as well, or by using our affiliate links, which are also linked down in the description as well, that go a long way to helping support the channel. As a special thank you to all our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Iron Grinch, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Alderin Shot First, Kendall, Soren, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all so much for helping support the channel. It means the absolute world to us. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.